Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? It is official and we're getting a live-action Dynasty Warriors movie from China. And before anyone asks, this is not just any other dime a dozen Three Kingdoms movie that pop up every single year with different actors and a slightly different storyline. This is straight up an official Dynasty Warriors production based on the popular Smash X to Win games, but not as popular these days thanks to Dynasty Warriors 9. And surprisingly, this is actually looking to be a huge production with a massive budget, because one look at the cast and you're looking at AAA cream of the crop type of casting, including one of Hong Kong's hottest actors, Louis Koo. Think of him as the Leonardo DiCaprio of Hong Kong, with 25 years of acting in over 200 films, and this year he finally wins the Asian Oscar for Best Actor and the second person from Hong Kong to do it ever. Louis Koo will be playing Lu Bu in this film, who is obviously going to be a main character in the story. But wherever this story goes, the main focus of this film, and much of the other Three Kingdoms movies that are out there, is going to be the action. And I'm happy that they're taking the stylistic direction of the games and fully integrating it into the movie, as we can see with this shot. It seems like they're going to be going for a faithful adaptation of Dynasty Warriors, with the over-the-top action of one guy taking on hundreds or thousands. Now, I am a huge fan of Three Kingdom movies, so I know when people see Dynasty Warriors for the first time in the movie format, many fans of the usual Three Kingdom movies, especially the older ones, are going to be asking questions like, how can one person fight off hundreds of soldiers with just one swing of his blade? Where are the physics? Well, nothing had to really make much sense in these games, but in a film with real people, the over-the-top action might be a little out of place for some people. Because again, these characters were never portrayed as superheroes that can take on a gajillion people at once, except for in Dynasty Warriors. But of course, the makers of the film has already figured out the answer to that problem. In the freshly released trailer, pretty much the only thing they tell you is the origin of this power they call Musou energy. Apparently, this Musou energy comes from condensed Pangu energy, which every human is born with according to Chinese mythology. Pangu is also a real-life myth that was recorded around the same time of the real Three Kingdoms period. And yes, Three Kingdoms is actually real history and refers to one of the bloodiest time periods in Chinese history, but not to be mixed up with Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is a piece of fiction written about that period. Dynasty Warriors is based on the fiction, while the fiction is based on the real time period. But no one really knows what happened during that time period, so most people just take the book as gospel. But back to the movie, Musou heroes, I guess, are people who have an absurd amount of this Musou energy, and their auras alone attract warlords, and thus they can dominate the world. Musou is the destiny of God, as they put it. In other words, whoever has this Musou energy is a god walking amongst mortals on Earth. So this special Musou energy is their explanation of why these guys are heroes and how they can whip up 50 guys into the air with a single swipe of their blade. But who plays or watches Dynasty Warriors for their story anyways? The little action that they showed us here looks something out of the game, and it's a little weird because you can tell they're using computer graphics to animate some of the scenes, and computer graphics is all we're used to seeing when we play the actual games. So watching the final film might be super trippy because it'll feel like you're constantly flipping between live action and in-game footage mixed in with live actors. We know as high budget as it's going to be, it's not going to be Hollywood CG level, but that doesn't mean they can't make it a fun watch. Apparently, this production company has tried for 4 years before actually getting the approval for the adaptation from Koei, so you know they really wanted to make this movie happen. At this point, they're done the actual filming and currently they're in post-production, and it will take over a year before we see the film released in 2019 without a solid release date yet. But I guess the more time they take, the better the CG will end up looking, because as you probably know already, there's going to be a ton of CG required since every fight scene will have people flying everywhere on the screen. Anyways, do you guys like what you see so far with the live-action Dynasty Warriors film? As usual, I left a poll for you guys up there, but also let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up before you leave, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications if you want to be updated with the latest that's going on in Japan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.